Thousands of homeowners are currently ripping out the so-called permanent upgrades they installed just last year. The initial fear was spider-infested ceilings, but the real issue is dust. That fluff is the perfect trap for dust and allergens. Along with smart lights that won't turn on, these recent trends crashed hard. The home renovation market steadied in 2025 with a promise of high-tech convenience and viral aesthetics. We saw a massive surge in DIY solutions, described by decor as driven largely by TikTok hacks, and the promise of the smart home finally growing up. Everyone wanted their living room to look like a gamer's paradise or a five-star hotel lobby, and manufacturers flooded the shelves with products promising instant gratification. Marketing claimed the new Matter standard would fix all connection problems, and that battery-powered devices were the future of lighting. As we reach February 2026, a date confirmed by Time and Date as the turning point for these realizations, the reality has hit. The set-it-and-forget-it technology is glitching, while adhesives peel the paint. Aesthetic choices that looked cool on a 6-inch phone screen feel cheap and chaotic in real life. Design forums are flooded with regret posts, and the resale market is already punishing homes that went too heavy on these specific fads. What looked futuristic 12 months ago now looks like a maintenance nightmare. We are seeing a hard pivot back to analog, repairable, and authentic design, leaving these 5 specific trends in the dust. The sales pitch was perfect, since it claimed you could install discrete track lights under your eaves once and never climb a ladder again. Gemstone Lights and similar brands sold this as the forever solution to holiday decorating, charging upwards of $3,000 for a standard suburban home. However, the permanent part of the name referred to the track glued to your house, rather than the technology inside it. Reports from January 2026 show that early adopters are facing massive controller failures. Since these systems use proprietary apps and drivers, your expensive lights become plastic junk stuck to your roofline when the company goes bust or stops updating the software. Neighborhood associations have also launched a war against them because a street where every house looks like a casino strip all year creates serious light pollution. Homeowners are finding that the invisible tracks yellow in the sun. When one section fails, the color matching on replacement LEDs is often slightly off, leaving you with a mismatched and glitchy border. The regret here is structural, as well as aesthetic. It started as a harmless TikTok vibe, where users glued polyfill stuffing to the ceiling with LED strips to create a thunderstorm effect. It looked incredible in short clips, but these installations have turned into absolute nightmares in real life. Although fire safety experts have warned about heat trapped against flammable materials, the primary issue is biological. That fluff is the perfect nesting ground for spiders and dust mites. Videos surfaced years ago of people tearing these down, and the amount of dust and debris trapped in the fiber is stomach-churning. It acts as a biomass filter for your bedroom air that you can never clean. This trend was a health hazard from day one if you suffer from allergies. Taking it down is no easier, since the heavy-duty spray adhesive used to hold the clouds up often requires drywall repair to remove. What was meant to be a dreamy escape turned into a literal dusty and bug-infested trap. Walking into any lighting aisle last year revealed sleek and thin fixtures, with no light bulbs. These integrated LED chandeliers and flush mounts looked modern and minimalist. Manufacturers, including industry leaders like AGC LED, claimed they would last 50,000 hours, which sounds like decades. The math nobody did at the checkout shows that the driver fails long before the LED chips do. When a standard light bulb burns out, you spend $5.10 replacing it. When an integrated fixture fails due to a cheap capacitor or power surge, the entire unit is trash. You have to hire an electrician to take it down and install a whole new fixture. We are seeing a wave of these failing just outside their 3 to 5 year warranty window. It creates a massive amount of e-waste, with metal, plastic, and electronics heading straight to the landfill for the sake of a cleaner look. Industry data shows smart LEDs becoming the default, but a vocal group of homeowners is pivoting back toward fixtures that take standard and replaceable Edison bulbs. We are watching the design world correct itself in real time by moving from disposable tech back to quality materials. Anyone in the middle of a renovation or trying to save their home from becoming a dated time capsule needs to stay ahead of these shifts. I break down the practical alternatives to these regrets every single week. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you avoid wasting your budget on upgrades that you will rip out by next Christmas. The renter-friendly movement, highlighted by the pop light, brought us the battery-operated wall sconce. It seemed genius to get the high-end look of hardwired lighting without calling an electrician or cutting drywall. You just mount it and charge the bulb. However, the novelty wears off around the fourth time you have to charge them. By late 2025, people realized they had just added another chore to their weekly list. These lights are often powered by cheap lithium cells that degrade quickly. Frequent daily charging wears down the battery over time and eventually requires replacement units. You end up with dead fixtures on your wall that you never turn on because it is too much hassle to unscrew them, plug them in, wait 4 hours, and screw them back in. It is the Tamagotchi of home decor, since you have to constantly feed it with electricity just to get a dim and cool-toned glow. If a light is not hardwired or plugged into an outlet, it eventually just becomes a wall ornament that gathers dust. The promise of the Matter standard was that all smart devices would finally play nice together. Apple, Google, and Amazon were supposed to hold hands. January 2026 proved that was a lie. Android police reported massive outages with Google Home, where devices just showed up as offline for days, regardless of the brand. The frustration with smart bulbs that disconnect every time the router blinks has reached a boiling point. People are tired of walking into a dark room and shouting commands 3 times only to be told the device is unreachable. The complexity of having 25 different Wi-Fi clients just for light bulbs clogs up home networks and creates lag. Homeowners are ripping out smart switches and going back to high-end dimmers that just work. The tactile feel of a physical switch is replacing the glitchy frustration of voice commands. Reliable stupidity is becoming more valuable than unreliable intelligence. Contractors love recessed lighting because it is easy and high-margin work. This led to the Swiss cheese ceiling trend, where living rooms were gridded out with 20 or 30 can lights. It turns your cozy evening space into an operating theater. The glare is harsh, the shadows are unflattering, and it completely kills the atmosphere. In 2026, we are seeing a hard rejection of this lit from above approach. Lighting designers are pushing for layers, including floor lamps, table lamps, and lower lumen warm pools of light. The problem with over-recessed ceilings is that you cannot easily undo the holes once they are cut. You are left with a ceiling that looks like a shower drain. The trend now is to cap those unused cans, or just ignore them entirely in favor of soft and eye-level illumination. Those building now should resist the urge to put a grid of spotlights in every bedroom. It is outdated, clinical, and makes your home feel like a 24-hour grocery store. For the last few years, anyone renovating a house probably used matte black hardware and gray floors. It was the safe flipper aesthetic. According to Martha T. Stewart, this look is dating faster than milk in 2026. Flat black fixtures are a maintenance disaster, particularly in bathrooms. They show every speck of dust, toothpaste splatter, and hard water stain. You cannot keep them looking clean. The high-contrast black and white look feels stark and uninviting compared to the warm neutrals taking over now. We are seeing a massive return to unlacquered brass, warm bronze, and brushed nickel. These textured or living finishes age with dignity and hide fingerprints better. The all-gray palette often relied on cool 4000K lighting to look clean, but now it just feels depressing and sterile. Homebuyers walk into these gray-washed homes and immediately calculate the cost to repaint and refixture. The warmth is back, and people are paying to remove the cold and industrial flipper chic. This shift away from tech-heavy and disposable trends points to a much larger movement in how we view our homes. We are moving out of the fast fashion era of interior design. For the last 5 years, we treated our living spaces like content studios by prioritizing what looked good on a phone screen over what was livable. The regrets of 2026 are all about the failure of that superficial approach. The future is repairable. We will see a premium placed on fixtures that can be serviced, materials that patina rather than peel, and technology that supports our lives rather than demanding our attention. This means spending more on a few high-quality lamps rather than cheap LED strips. It involves valuing the permanence of good architecture over the temporary excitement of an app-controlled gimmick. Your home should serve you rather than the other way around. As we move deeper into this year, the smartest money will go toward things that do not require a software update to function. The best design decision you can make this year is to choose quality that lasts over a viral moment that fades. Subscribe if you found this breakdown helpful and want to build a home that stands the test of time. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.